in that stadium, and a whole lot of things around the game. Uchebo being mistaken for Kanu Wanko. A lot to look forward to in this game.
Media coverage as well.
That's an easy mistake to make. Michael Uchebo is 6'7".
He's tall guy.
He's very tall. He's equally as skillful as Kanu. If you watch him play, you'll be amazed at the similarities.
The footwork.
He has a brilliant first touch. He's Kanu come to life again, but he just has
Kanu reincarnation.
Yeah, he just has.
And people have said Leon Balogun is Ruben Agbola reincarnation.
It's just that
it's just bringing everybody back to life.
Uchebo just has 1 or 2 more yards of pace than Kanu had in his prime. But it's really interesting to see how much of a carnival that this particular match is. Sold out stadium, massive media coverage following the Mexicans. We can't say the same about the Nigerians as well, but you know, wherever there are Nigerians, people will follow.
On match day, that's when you know whether we're there or not.
Exactly. And I'm expecting a really good game, but many thanks to Sulaiman, who's given us a fabulous update about everything that's been going down behind the scenes and everywhere as well. So Sulaiman works for the BBC, Al Jazeera, and everybody. Now he works for channels.
And he's working for us
now
tonight.
He works for channels.
He's working for us today. All right, so that's it. But Yemi, before I come to you, let me just read a few comments on Twitter very quickly. Oba Adeola Amokomowo, who regularly watches us from the United Kingdom and sends us his comments, says Leon Balogun is the solution to the right back and the central defense of the Super Eagles. He says he's quick offensively, he's excellent with set pieces, and that he watched him a couple of times last season. So options for Keshi, somebody who can play as centre back, somebody who can play as wing back, somebody who can get to the end of crosses.
Well, not so much of a wing back. He's tall. He's more suited to central defense. But you know what we say about how central defenders should spend some time in right full back, so they tend
able to adjust to the flow of the game.
Exactly, so that they don't spend too much time in depending on their physique to win the ball and to play out matches. So maybe central defense. He is good in central defense, but he's not good going forward offensively as a fullback. He's more limited in that regard.
Darlington Amadi, Yemi, I'm going to like to take this one. It says Keshi's invitation of Leon is revelational. Oh, Pastor Darlington is a pastor. And he says it's a welcome development. He says, I wish the team the best. And he says he wishes that Ike Uche is also in.
Well, anybody which Ike Uche is in. I mean, one of the best Nigerian players in Europe this season. Scored many goals. But one thing Sulaiman said that I like is having options. That's the key going to the World Cup. Apart from your first 11, you must have players that could come and make the difference. Maybe your opponents may not dread them because they don't know them like the Argentines, but you need to have players, someone gets injured. Like most of us here will probably have a migraine if Ederson gets injured because you're like...
No backup.
No backup. Well, no, there is a backup. Juwan Shaniwa.
Maybe not as good. Maybe not as good.
He's decent.
Not
as tested.
I agree, but he has
what Yemi is talking about is the same level of quality, the same level of commitment, the same level of...
Juwan is equally as good.
You've always talked about headaches. I want Keshi to have that kind of headache.
Positive headache.
You put a player on the field and you're like, why is the other guy not on the field? Those kind of headaches.
Okay, let's look at other games to be played tomorrow, Yemi. Let's look at the African teams that will be busy tomorrow going to the World Cup. Algeria will be taking on Slovenia. Montenegro will be taking on Ghana. Portugal will be taking on Cameroon. Belgium will be taking on Cote d'Ivoire. Iran, very key for us, are playing an African team. And the obvious reason why they're playing an African team that looks like Nigeria, play like Nigeria maybe, is because of Nigeria. They're playing Guinea. Romania is playing Argentina. That's another team in our group, playing friendly. Bosnia is playing Egypt. These are strategic friendly games. Bosnia could be playing Egypt for Iran, for all you care. And then we have France against the Netherlands. That's more like a World Cup semi-final game. You have Spain against Italy, more like a World Cup final match. You have South Africa against Brazil. You have Germany against Chile. You have England against Denmark. So, Yemi, international football comes alive again.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're looking at these mouth-watering fixtures, especially the ones with the European super heavyweights, France, Netherlands, Spain, Italy. And, you know, I'll spare it up for South Africa, Brazil. I feel so sorry for Gordon Ingerson. He's going to be the manager for this game. And, you know...
he has injury problems.
He has injury problems. So, and apart from that, there's uncertainty about his future.
No, his future is certain.
He's going.
Okay, his future is certain that this is his last game.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Okay, it should end on a high.
I feel some sympathy for him.
He beat Spain the other time.
Oh, yeah.
And then lost in the CHAN. I mean, how do you beat Spain and you are unable to qualify in a group that has Nigeria, Mali,
I don't
Mozambique.
know, especially when you have an
That's the
advantage.
story of South African football.
But
All right.
a lot of quality games, but our eyes definitely will be on Nigeria.
On the Nigerian game and the games involving Nigeria's World Cup opponents. And just before we wrap up this segment, gentlemen, we want to task the Nigerian Football Federation. Keep your eyes on the Eagles game, Nigeria-Mexico, but also monitor Argentina against Romania, Iran against Guinea, Bosnia against Egypt. Know what's going on. Get footages of those games. That's what the NFF technical committee should be
You
doing.
can be sure that all those countries will have scouts at the Nigerian
You
game.
can be sure that all those countries will have scouts at Nigeria-Mexico game. But do we have people who will monitor those games, get us the footages, help us to prepare for the World Cup? I can't answer in the affirmative.
Prepare some technical detail.
Prepare details of how these teams play. That's what we need to do to prepare adequately for the World Cup. I hope somebody is listening. It's not too late to try to make arrangements to get some of those things so that we can help the Eagles prepare well for the 2014 World Cup in Brazil.